Hey guys, Bigfoot here. Well, deer season and elk season are over here in Oregon, and so I thought it'd be a really good opportunity to take the time and show you guys how to begin the process of tanning a deer hide. And especially for those of you that have had an interest but maybe thought maybe you didn't have the right tools or didn't know where to start, this video is for you guys, especially this part one. This will be probably a 3-part video. And so first thing that we have to do is we have to gather our gear or our tools, our accessories. And so what we need to start with is we need a fleshing beam, and we need a fleshing knife, and then we need to make our frame to stretch our deer hide in. If you don't have a fleshing tool, you can order one on Amazon. They're probably about 30 bucks. Another thing that works really well that I've used a lot in the past is this. This is a piece off of a wine barrel, cut however long of a section that you're comfortable with, and it is a bit bendier than a actual fleshing knife, but it works, and I've had really good luck with them. And then you just put a little bit of a single edge on down here, and not super sharp. Your fleshing knife doesn't need to be sharp. All you're doing is pushing fat and flesh off of the hide, the membrane. You can use one of these, or you can order one on Amazon. Now the next thing we got to do is we need to build a fleshing beam. Okay, so for our fleshing beam, we've got this long, thicker beam here, and then for the legs, we've got this skinnier pole here. First thing I'm going to do is start knocking the branches off of my leg pole with the back side of my hatchet. We don't need a super thick legs, so we're going to find a sweet spot in this pole here to make our legs from. And our fleshing beam, really, I like my beam kind of about navel, about your belly button. So I'm going to make my poles maybe about 4 inches taller than that. That way I got a little bit of extra just in case. Now we've got a couple of these poles cut. We'll put those to the side, and we're going to move over to our bigger beam here. And I'm going to probably make my beam about 10 feet long. That way it's got a nice gentle slope to it. Don't want nothing too steep, don't want nothing too flat. Want a little bit of be able to push down on my beam. We'll peel away some of this bark. And then I'm going to lay this down. I'm going to drill myself a couple holes with my Scotch eye auger. We're going to go ahead and make our first hole right about here. Okay, so now we've got one hole drilled. I like to do one at a time, that way I can adjust my second leg to get it where it needs to be based off the first leg. So what we need to do is we need to make the diameter of one of these short poles, that's going to be our leg. We need to make that diameter roughly the same size as our hole. That way we can tap it together and it'll fit nice and snug. So how I'm going to do that, I am going to take the tapered end of this Scotch eye auger. I'm just going to kind of make a mark. Not too crazy, just going to make a mark so that way I kind of have a guide to go by. And then I'm going to take my saw and I'm just going to make a score down around the base of this, right where I kind of think it's going to stop. and then we'll start peeling away bits of material. Okay, now we've got a score here, and so now we can start cutting down into that score a little bit at a time, and until we get what we need. So we're just going to take this and we're going to split down to our score right there, and we're just going to kind of go around. And then once you get a rough shape like so, you can start trimming these square ends off. And I still got my circle mark in there. Okay, we've got that, and I'm going to take my Scotch-eye auger and just double check. And I can tap this down. You don't want to go too far and get your auger stuck. So I'll just go like that. Just kind of take it back off. Like so, and then I'll trim that away. Okay, so we have one, and I'm going to go ahead and tap this in. Okay, nice and snug, not going anywhere. And we can saw this to our length that we want here in just a minute. Okay, so now I got to make my second leg. I'm going to do the exact same thing with this one. I'm going to make a score, and then I'll chip it down. We'll come back when I got that done. All right, we'll see what our height looks like. Okay, well, evidently that's a bit on the high side, but it's sturdy. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this off while it's up here high. It's a little easier for me to cut that way. Okay, now that I've got that rough side cut off, I can go ahead and adjust my legs. Seems like I need to cut about maybe 8 inches to a foot off. So I'll start cutting the legs. That. There we go. And that's about the height I like my fleshing beam. So I'm right here, comfortable. I'm not having to bend way down. You really want your fleshing beam to be personal for you. So you see how I'm not bending over? I don't want to be like this. I want to be standing up, being able to put weight against this to hold the hide there. Okay, now next thing I gotta do is remove some bark and make sure that I got a nice smooth work area. Now I'm gonna go ahead and smooth this out. Now if your bark, if you got a bark, if you have a beam with thinner bark that doesn't come off quite like that, you can also take the back side of your saw or something else with a 90 degree and you can scrape like this. And they work pretty good as a scraping tool. You could probably also use the back of this to flesh your hide with, but we'll use a fleshing knife. All right, guys, well, that's our fleshing beam video. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave me a comment. Please like and subscribe the video. and hit the notification bell so you can catch the next videos that are on their way out. And the next one is going to be stretching and fleshing the hide, and we'll also build the stretcher frame and show you how to do that. And yeah, it'll be fun. All right, guys. Well, this is Bigfoot. We'll catch you on the next video. Out.